What's up, guys? Today we're going to be covering a little bit of Ruckus decks. You guys have been asking for me to go a little more in depth with my decks before covering commentaries, and I used to try to put as much input as I could at the start of games, but to be honest, it really wasn't enough time with how much I wanted to go in depth with each card and like the reasons behind picking it, and um, yeah, mostly the reasoning behind it was really hard to explain while also talking about like card buys and rollouts, and as well as like just looking at their team comps and gauging what I need to focus on. So I'm adding this little extra portion at the start just to see how it is. I'm going to be covering a few loadouts. I have a bunch here. Just mainly I think this is the one I use most of the time. It's the most flexible, but sometimes teams do have heavy wrecker, which is just a ton of wrecker users. And this can be problematic for Ruckus as he has one of the weaker shields and he has one of the lower HP pools. His emitter only gives him 2500 and it's a self shield, so it doesn't really cover anyone else except for him. But having this up as much as possible is really crucial for Ruckus. It allows him to bounce in and out really easily and absorb a lot of damage. First thing to note though is Ruckus does have a low HP pool. He only has 4k HP. I think the only other tank like that is actually Term and Khan, but Khan has a much stronger shield, and Term has his Symphon, which is obviously way more valuable in terms of absorbing damage compared to Emitter. But in these loadouts, I mostly focus on HP. I put usually 4 points into it just to bring him up to 4600 HP. Especially being in a burst meta, you want to have as much survivability as possible, and having a higher base HP is really, really important. Next, we have Refraction at 4 seconds. This is really, really important to get your emitters off CD as much as possible. This allows you to dive, even beat enemies to like thinking you're low, and having your emitter pop up again really fast is really, really nice. You can bait enemies with it. You can just tank a lot more damage with it. And it allows you to play a little more aggressive. Crystal Capacitor, I always have this at 5. I can't stress how important it is to have it at 5. If you look at least when you use Rocket Barrage, you get 3 missiles, right? So without any CD and Crystal Capacitor at all is 8 seconds. So you have 3 missiles all at 8 seconds, which combines for a total of 24 seconds to get all 3 of your missiles back. With, however, Crystal Capacitor 5, you actually get 3.5 seconds off each missile CD. Thus, each missile will only take 4.5 seconds to um, come off cooldown, which is a huge, it's tremendous value. Just putting this at 5 points is really, really important. Um, you could put it at 4, but I honestly don't see why we would do that. I like having my missiles up as much as possible. It's really his main damage source ever since his miniguns did get nerfed a while back. They used to do 48 a shot, and that was pretty influential. I think that was close to 15% of his actual damage, not including missiles. But since his miniguns didn't get nerfed, missiles are one of his strongest abilities and his main damage source. It's also a source of blast damage. Miniguns are actually Haven damage, as you can see there, direct damage, area damage. So having area damage is really important. There's a lot less characters that have area damage, just Blasters, Ruckus, Fern, a few other characters, but there's predominantly a lot more direct damage users. So having as much area damage as possible is really, really important, and it helps a ton. Having missiles up all the time, it allows you to fight DPS and poke them constantly. So that's my reasoning behind running this at 5. Going back to Refraction though, I forgot to bring this up. There are times where team comps will be super heavy wrecker, and your emitters will just get deleted instantly. So at times this can lose a lot of value, especially since you're putting 4 points into it. Um, I sometimes run these decks where they have less emitter and more focus on Metal March. The main reasoning behind this is DR damage reduction can't really get countered by Wrecker. It's flat damage reductions, flat protections. So if there are a ton of Wrecker users on the other team that you're scared of, Metal March is definitely not a bad card to slot in instead. Give you a little more tankiness in return for losing a emitter CD and a little bit of HP, depending on what you opt for. Um, Going back over to here, Fuel Reserves 1. These two are predominantly filler cards. I have used to run Warden, which is an extra 1 second on emitter duration. I used to like this a lot for trading. However, with the burst meta, I really don't see the value in this card anymore. That extra 1 second isn't really that helpful. Especially when your shield's getting burnt half the time really, really fast. It doesn't even last for the entire 3.5 seconds sometimes. That's really preference. These filler cards can honestly be changed to whatever your playstyle might want to be. Like I have at the ready for more vision. Allows me to see enemies that I hit with missiles around corner and where they're positioned at for a little more information. You could opt for Opulence, which gives you a little more sustainability. You could do extended magazines for more ammo on dashes, which can be nice, but I honestly prefer at the ready, which gives me a nice reveal. And fuel reserves just gives me a little more mobility. It's not that noticeable, but it still helps. I've taught you guys in my previous videos that you can jump on wall, or not jump walls, wall jump to increase your distance, and then dash forward to actually go even further. So in a sense, fuel reserves does help this a little bit, and I love my mobility, so I'll always run this at least one point in this. You can note that I have a few extra decks, like I have this one. This one gives up a little health for fuel reserves, so if you want to be a little more aggro and have more dash distance, fuel reserves is your way to go. Other than that, that pretty much covers all the decks and the reasons why I use the cards. So hopefully you guys can enjoy the commentary and the gameplay a little more.
And so it begins.
On this fight, I'm gonna look to take the right side, see if I can get some space for my team. I have a buck with me, so he definitely wants to dive in. I think the sniper's there too. I'm gonna go ahead and just tank the spit for my team, make sure they don't get any damage off of it. I do have to be careful of the spam I'm taking. Ruckus does do a lot of damage to Ruckus. Gotta be careful. Got a beam to help me out though. Just gonna go ahead and walk back. I don't want to get hit by that RuBBu. I don't think he's running the card. You know what? He's not running a reset. It's good. Always good to look at Andrew's cards because you'll know what he gets his dash reset off. It's either his rev or the punch. Got to pick there. I'm gonna have to wait for my healer. Got to catch the beam and then go ahead and move up. I believe their joke might be weak back here. Yeah, we can save a kill him here. Good burst. Just gonna look for more poke damage here. Demount their flanker. Keep him poked out, make sure he can't do too much. I'm just gonna back it. Oh, I missed the beam. There's literally no sound for it. It's so hard to really catch it when there's no communication either. That's okay. Stroke is on the right with no thrust. I'm gonna see if I can catch him here. He's weak. I don't think anyone can really dive him. I think Buck's the only one that can. We also lost our healer, which is really important to note. I'm actually just going to back up slowly, see if we can kite. We have no sustain other than my emitter, so that's something to look out for. I have to be careful of that spit, don't want to get caught it again. I'm just going to look at my Fury. I'm pretty sure she's going to beat me, so I'm just going to stand still. Go ahead and push in here. See me do some damage to the flanks. That's some big damage. Hopefully our team can follow up on that. I'm gonna try and make some assists with our buck here. Want to help him out, make sure he doesn't die. Nice. It's important on Serpent, especially on when you're attacking. The high ground is a really important part of the map, especially for defense. Controlling it's really important when you're attacking, making sure the defense can't sit up there and just constantly rain fire down on you is really important. So I'm just gonna rotate up here, deny as much space as I can. Make sure their Strix can't get up here and start free firing. You have to be careful. Does a ton of damage. We might be able to push this. I'm actually gonna ult. See if I can ult here. See if I can do a ton of damage to the thing. I think I do have to back up. I don't know why I dashed forward there. And I missed the beam because I dashed forward. I messed up there. I should have dashed backward twice and I wouldn't have missed the beam. That's okay. We're just gonna look to... We got our caught too, actually, so it's actually not that bad. Dying there's not the worst thing ever. I probably shouldn't ult it knowing that my team was all dead there, but it was a little audacious, but that's okay. We missed the beam, so we do have not that much healing. I'm just gonna peel for our Furia. I wanna let her die. Andrew is in his HUD. We should be able to get him. Yes, we got another pick. They're down 3 characters, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get card pressure here. I want to get it moving, get it closer. Go ahead and tank that spit again.
3, 2, 1.
Just poke out the Strix here. We got touched, so I'm just gonna back up. Just gonna have to wait for our Nando to come back. Keep getting touched again. Get healed up. You have to somehow get onto their drogue. You don't want to let them free fire forever. I'm gonna let the Nando just sit on cart, and I'm gonna go ahead and just get off and take better angles to get on their DPS. Once he dies, I'm gonna have to rotate back to cart, however. The Andrew's one. Yeah. Really important against Ruckus is always to be tanking those spits. Don't want to be letting him get him off for free. Talk about the resets here. If you tank the spit, no reset. When I talk about Rev, Andrews either run Abyssal Touch or Power of the Abyss, which is Power of the Abyss is if you hit a Rev, it resets your dash cooldown. So when you're Ruckus, you definitely want to look to dodge it. You have 2 dashes, so like you could wait for him to put his Rev up and then dash the last second to throw off his aim. Those are a few things you can do. You could also look to just missile as soon as the Rev ends and see if you can just blow him up before he gets a chance to do anything. That way you could just tank the Rev and just kill him before he even gets to use his dashes. But that's a little riskier. You also take the damage, so if someone feeds the reversal, it's gonna hit you for a lot of damage. We're just gonna play right side again. Our Buck's on the other side. He is looking for a flank. Once I have more space, I'm gonna see if I can rotate over. I think there's Strix here. We didn't kill him. He is one. I'm gonna go ahead and just push here. Somebody cut both their damages. And their Andrew, hopefully. And keep pushing here. See if we can catch out their con. He has no shout. I think he has ult, so we do have to be careful of that. No shield now, so we can just look to burn him. Then once we do have camp, so we're already good. If we get enough of a snowball, I can try and get on their high ground right now, but right now it's way too risky to get up there. With all the damages and flanks up. I do need to be careful. I think I need to back out here. Thank you for my team killing. Me missing the beam. If there was communication there, I would have known the beam was coming and I would have caught it, but it's just a pub. I think Khan's on high ground. Actually, he's on the low ground, I think. I'm gonna just take a different angle, see if I can start poking him out. Do have to be careful of that ult. I don't want to get ulted off the map. Not the worst thing ever. Okay. I have 2 dashes here. I might be able to get on. Nope. He had to throw me higher in the air if I wanted that to happen. Unlucky. I'm gonna go ahead and just get master running here. I want to get back to the fight as quickly as possible. Hopefully our team can get a clean reset here, so we don't stagger. They actually just want to back out now and leave. Oh, we got 2 picks. So we can actually start to go aggressive as soon as we get here. I believe that was our Drogo ult, so we don't have to worry about that. We got another pick. We staggered them really well. We did a really good job not staggering, and we staggered their team like really, really well. What I mean by staggering is like we killed one of their teammates and then another one after that, like a few seconds after. So their spawns are delayed and staggered, which makes it better for us because we have a man advantage in most situations. I'm just gonna go ahead and ult here. I have the fairy ult too, so this should do tons of damage. Nice. Overall, not a bad game.
Good game.
Our team, they only had 1 tank, so it made it much easier to get on their backline. I think having a flanker and the Ruckus push their high ground and deal out damage made it much easier. If they had another tank, it would have been much harder to get on them, and I'd have to like deal with one of their tanks. More so than their DPS. But as Ruckus, you are a squishier tank than most other frontliners, so you do want to be aware of what damages you're against. Drogos is actually really, really good against Ruckus. I also think Ruckus also does well against Drogos. It's kind of a balance. His rockets are pretty easy to hit on him when Ruckus has no dashes, but he has the most mobility out of all tanks to deal with Drogos spam and spits. Ruckus is I guess his miniguns got nerfed a while back ago when he was OP in the aerial meta, but since then he got his damage reduced and he relies more on his missiles for his damage. I'm just gonna go ahead and look to control this area, see if I can make some saves for my team. Just be careful of that shield. You can just spam missiles in here. Just did a ton of damage. I am gonna push since they are weak. Should be able to live here. I have a minute to get myself out. I'm gonna come back here and see if I can peel for my Damba. Since we don't have any healers, I am gonna have to back out and look to passive heal. I don't want to die here. Once our healer gets back, we should be able to look to push in again. But since he is down, we're at a pretty big disadvantage. It's not too big of an issue considering they're not sitting on point yet. Just gonna block that, make sure I don't get hit by it and give him a reset. Just gonna stay here, see if I can poke the DPS down. All we're really looking to do, make sure that the DPS can free fire. Get on their support as well so he can heal. I'm gonna chase the Andrew. I know he has no dashes. He has dashes now, I think. I have to get out of here. It's not a fight I want to take. I'm too squishy to tank the Drogos' damage. Since our healer is dead again, I'm gonna have to back up. Just passive heal. Don't want to get caught at it or get my passive heal stopped. I'm gonna look to see if I can peel for my Victor here. He's one. Getting pocketed. I don't have enough COD to help him. There's a Ruckus behind me. Rip. I don't know what's happening. I think my team's like lacking a lot of damage. Doesn't seem like really too much is dying, and this Andrew's picking us off like, pretty heavily. I think it's kind of my job to deal with him, but at the same time, he's just getting on his support and making it hard for me to get heals and live.
Overtime.
I think I have to get next touch here. So if we just kill their tank here, make sure they can't touch. I believe there's supports in here as well. Don't know if I'll be able to kill him since the Andrew is back. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can peel for this Leon. Kill her. I'm gonna go ahead and just touch cap again. See if I can get the objective. Good ult by my Nando to keep me up. I'm kind of weak and out. I don't know where our healer's at. I believe he's dead, so I'm just gonna play kind of safe, play my life. Make sure I don't take too much damage. I do have my emitter here, so I can take a little bit from the Nando. Just gonna heal up now. We're kind of weak. Go ahead and see my Nando's pushing over there, so I'm just gonna take an off angle. I don't really want to stack with him and cover the same area. I'm just gonna look to see if I can do some damage from over here. Get some poke off. I hit a Leanne over here. I don't think she has a dash, because actually she does have a dash. I think she got a reset, but that's okay. Gonna focus on Nando now. I have a emitter to outtrade him. Nando doesn't really win this matchup. He doesn't really have enough damage to deal with Ruckus and his emitter. DPS usually have better matchups into Ruckus, but Fern is like one of the worst just because he doesn't have that great of damage versus tanks compared to Ruckus's damage.
Rampage.
Cards at the choke. I'm gonna go ahead and peel for this Andro. Don't want to get too many picks on our healer. I believe our healer is alive. I'm just gonna go ahead and rotate over here, see if I can get this space for our Victor. We got the long angles on the Drogos and Leon. So got another pick. Once we burn the shield, we should be able to help. I do want to peel their flanker. I wasn't going to burn the shield at all. I don't have Wrecker or anything, so it was better to just switch my focus there and help with the flanker. If our healer died there, it would have made this push extremely hard. Especially when the card's so close, they have really good spawn advantages over us. So if we lose a person, it takes them much longer to get back to the fight compared to if, you know, they lost their healer. You know, their spawn door's right there, so it makes it a lot easier. It definitely makes it a lot easier when, you know, you get a pick on a support and, you know, the entire team kind of like crumbles off of that. There's no healing, so it's hard to get a really good engagement without any heals. We do have 700 creds here. I think I should be able to buy something. I don't know what I'm taking the most damage from. Fern and Drogos both do blast damage, and Andrew and Leon do Haven damage. I think I'm taking the most from Leon and Drogue. I'm just gonna go ahead and opt for Haven. I think at least Drogue spam I can kind of at least try and dodge with my dashes compared to Leon, who's just hit scan, who can just constantly track me. If no one stops me, I'm gonna try and just wrap around and see if I can get a big flank. I see their Drogos is half. Let's see if I can poke him out here. Leon is waiting in the back. Oh, he's one. I had to pop my ult sooner. As soon as I heard the ult go off, I had to pop it. Or I had to switch targets and let Leon live. Either way, it was rough. I had both their damages on me, which should have made enough space for something to happen.
Death awaits you all.
See if we can help our Nando over here. Andrew is one. I still got another pick. This Nando wasn't a shield either. No, just LOS their Leon. I don't want to take too much damage from her spam. We have no healer right now. When you're a tank, definitely be looking out for your healer. If you don't have him, probably have to play much safer. Gonna see if I can rotate into dark. Kill that Leon here. Can rotate around, save our Nando, but he's dead. I might be dead here actually, unless my Dama can get me out. I think he's a bot. Yeah, he's definitely a bot. That's unlucky. He left the game. I don't know if he left or he DC'd, but that's okay. We're gonna have to probably lose this mid just because we don't have a real support. Pretty much down our healer. That's okay. We can play some defense here. won't be too bad. I know their Leon's also over here, so I do want to be careful about this fight. I can't fight their Drogue and their Leon. They both have records, so they have good matches into me. I'm gonna see if I can come over here and help with this Nando. Just want to keep an eye on their DPS as well. Go ahead and take the spit as well. I might be dead actually. I forgot I don't have a healer. Out. Okay. It's problematic that our healer DC'd, but hopefully he comes back and makes things easier. I actually thought he came back because the voice chat command went off, but apparently not. Leon's on the left here. I think I kind of need to take away her positioning. I don't want to just let her free fire over back here. I do need to be careful. I don't have a healer. I might be back actually. I'm not really sure. It's really hard to tell. I don't think this Nano has a shield, so we can go ahead and burn him. We can dive Leon now. Tank the spit. If you ever see a salvo spit like that, just tank the spit for your team. It sucks that you have to take the damage, but it's well worth the trade. If you actually hit the spit with your body, it only does 150 damage, and it actually doesn't caught you. So the only way it caught you is if it blows up, which is really the big part, and also denies him the reset on his card, Masterful. It puts it on an 8-second CD, which is really, really important for reducing Drogo spam, making sure he doesn't get all his spits and dishing out a ton of damage while cauterizing everything. That's one of Drogo's biggest strengths. I fed that reversal and I just stood still and took it. That's my fault. Andrew has no dashes right now. Oh, I missed those missiles. That's my bad. I don't know if I would have killed him though. I'm gonna get feared here. You have to be careful. Andrew has no shield, so we can burn him, and then I'm gonna look over here and just cover the flank. I have this support now. Let's see if I can kill him. Drunk is still up, so I actually want to deal with him first. I think their support's out now.
10, 9, 8,
I'm gonna back up here.
7, 6, 5,
My team's zoning up, but I just want to make sure no one back caps or anything. It's important to know to look out for. We got a defense here. We should be able to win this next mid. Hopefully our healer's back for sure. On this mid, I don't know if I'm going to be able to flank like that. It doesn't seem like we had enough pressure to deal with the Drogo's punch and the Leon sitting. I don't know why the Leon was so far back. That was really confusing. It should have been just me diving the Drogos there, but since the Leon was back there, it kind of screwed me. I'm gonna look to just play a little safe here and make sure I stay safe. I'm just gonna go ahead and get Kronos here. Kronos is actually a really, really good card for Ruckus. If you don't want to get Kronos, I'd suggest Master Riding, or that's about it. I don't really like morale boost too much on Ruckus since his ult sometimes isn't the best. It provides a lot of damage, but also sacrifices really good positioning. Sometimes when you pop your ult, you just get blown up, which is not always the best thing. So it's pretty hard to use and get good value out of. I know there are Andrews over here. I'm just gonna deny him the space. See if I can kill him. I needed to hit one missile. He has low CDs, I think. I'm just gonna back up and make sure I don't tank that. I'm watching over here, make sure that Andrew can't kill our Victor. I think I wasted too much time with the Victor, or the Andrew. I actually do have to get out. Hopefully we can trade that. We're down to damage and our tank's coming back. We just need to play safe here and not get picked, and we should be good.
Here?
1 second. Sorry. I'll tap back in. The Drogus should be over here. That was a rock monkey. And if you recognize his voice. I'm just gonna go ahead and ult. Oh no, Hernando left. Needed tank good for me. Unlucky. I'm down, but I think our team should be able to win this. Their Nando's won. I think their Dom is zoned out, so we should be able to get it. You have to be careful of Leon. We did lose our DPS there, but we are 30% on cap, so I don't want to zone too hard. I just want to look to get dismounts on their tanks here. I think the Nando should be able to get it. Yeah. So now we just gotta make sure that he can't touch cap. If our Nando backs up, we should be able to live. It looked like he overextended a little bit, and I couldn't really help him there. Nano is one. Should be able to kill him. That's an ult. Oh, we got another one there. I think I have to touch. Just gonna wait for the last second and go in. I got the OT, so I can back up now. I don't believe Nano has a shield, so I'm gonna look to poke him. Now that our Nano's on point, I'm actually just gonna wrap around, see if I can stop the Ruckus from free firing. Make him back up a little bit, you know. Don't want to make him do too much. Some healing for my team. Just poking out their Nano, make sure you can't touch. Nice, we got it. Overall, not a bad game. It was kind of rough there, not having our healer, and I think our team overextended a few times, which made it pretty hard to deal with the Andrew. And I missed a few missiles there. I definitely should have killed that Andrew much faster on the right. He stalled out a lot of time, and actually made it hard for our Nando to stand on point when the Ruckus was spamming him. So you gotta make sure you clean up on those kills. Other than that, wasn't that bad of a game. I think that kind of shows how important it is to make sure your healer's up and living. He's like a core member of your team, and if he kind of falls down, the rest of your team crumbles. But overall, not a bad game. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, if you appreciate the content, drop a like and a sub. I appreciate it greatly, and I'll see you guys next time.